Welcome to Snapshot. I'm your host, Mike Jones. I've been telling many of you that yet another public safety levy would likely be coming at us in the spring. I was wrong. It's coming in the fall, this fall. The new levy sponsor is All Care. They're the guys erecting this multi-million-dollar building at the corner of 7th and Hillcrest. It'll be interesting to see where All Care lands on the government funding food chain and whether they stand to benefit from a successful law enforcement levy. All Care is apparently concerned that the perception that this is a lawless county is keeping good doctors from coming here, and that if you pay higher property taxes to fund law enforcement, that perception might end. That sounds logical, right? Perhaps it would be more cost-effective if they would just tell local officials to stop running the county down as being a lawless hellhole in the media, as they are the ones feeding that perception. Jackson County's crime rate is higher than ours, and their tax rate is already $2 per thousand. More money is not the only solution, and is no substitute for sound policy. Soon we are going to hear calls for compromise from levy proponents. Compromise is defined as settlement of a dispute that is reached by each side making concessions. They will say, we're proposing $1.50 per thousand levy. How much do you think is reasonable? There is no compromise taking place in this scenario. You would already be compromising by agreeing to pay more for law enforcement. The difference between $1.50 and what you find reasonable is not their money. They've conceded nothing.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
If you ask no on the levy people what concessions they want, most would say the issue is trust. Local officials acknowledge there is a trust issue, but usually chalk it up to paranoid delusions of people too stupid to know if we just paid more for the government we all want, just like George Washington intended, all of our problems would magically disappear. Recently, suggestions were made during the budgeting process for Josephine County, which would have been a compromise on the trust issue with no on the levy voters, had they been implemented. One was the use of some of the SRS windfall that came in last year to fund rural patrols. Another was to use economic development money to fund the Sheriff's Department, as Jackson County is already doing. Instead, the majority of the Budget Committee, half of them being commissioners themselves, voted against those ideas and instead voted for a bunch of pay raises for government employees.
That ain't right. That ain't right. It ain't right.
In the next few weeks, we will see the launch of the fall levy season, and hysterical threats of outlaw gangs, jail closure, and the looming fiscal cliff will fill the air. Gird your loins, levy is coming. If you like this video, give us a click of the like button. Click subscribe to follow future videos. More to come as news breaks.